Here's a question that's going to start an all-out war in the comments. If you have $30,000 in student loan debt at 5% interest and an extra $500 a month, should you pay off the debt aggressively or invest the money while making minimum payments? Dave Ramsey would tell you to pay off the debt immediately. He'd say debt is the enemy and you can't build wealth while you're in debt. But what if the math says the exact opposite? What if the person who stayed in debt and invested actually ended up $200,000 richer than the person who paid off their debt as fast as possible? I'm about to show you why everything you've been told about debt might be completely wrong, and why Dave Ramsey's advice, while great for people with no self-control, might be costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hey, I'm Dave, and on this channel, I expose the financial traps that keep people broke. Today, I'm going to compare two people who took completely opposite approaches to handling debt. One followed Dave Ramsey's advice, the other followed the math, and the results are going to blow your mind. Let me tell you about two people, Marcus and Jessica. Both are 25 years old. Both graduated college with $30,000 in student loan debt at 5% interest. Both make $60,000 per year. Both are financially responsible, but they have completely different philosophies about debt. Marcus is debt-free obsessed. He listened to Dave Ramsey, read The Total Money Makeover, and believes that debt is the enemy. He's going to throw every extra dollar at his student loans until they're gone. Marcus commits to paying $1,000 per month toward his student loans. The minimum payment is only $318. Jessica is math-focused. Jessica looks at the numbers and thinks, my student loan interest is 5%. The stock market averages 10% returns. Why would I pay off 5% debt instead of earning 10% returns? Jessica makes the minimum payment of $318 per month and invests the remaining $682 per month in an S&P 500 index fund. Let's follow their journeys for 25 years and see who ends up wealthier. Spoiler alert, the answer is going to make Dave Ramsey fans absolutely furious. Year 3, debt-free day. Marcus, age 28. After 3 years of grinding, Marcus pays off his $30,000 student loan debt. He's debt-free. He screams it from the rooftops. He does his debt-free scream on the Dave Ramsey Show. Total paid toward loans over 3 years. $36,000 minus $30,000 principal minus $6,000 interest. Marcus feels amazing. The psychological weight is lifted. He's free. Current net worth, $0. He spent everything paying off debt. Now Marcus can start investing. He commits to investing $1,000 per month going forward. Jessica, age 28. Jessica has been making minimum payments for 3 years. Paid toward loans, $11,448. Remaining loan balance, $22,891. Interest accrued while she paid slowly. But here's what else Jessica did. Invested $682 per month for 3 years equals $24,552 total invested at 10% average return. Investment account value, $27,500. Current net worth, $4,609. $27,500 in investments minus $22,891 in debt. Jessica is already ahead. She has a positive net worth while Marcus is still at zero. But Marcus is about to start investing heavily now that he's debt-free. Can he catch up? Year 7, the investment acceleration. Marcus, age 32. Marcus has been debt-free for 4 years in investing $1,000 per month. Total invested, $48,000 at 10% return. Investment account, $56,800. Marcus feels great. He's building wealth and has no debt. This is the dream. Current net worth, $56,800. Jessica, age 32. Jessica is still making minimum payments on her student loan. After 7 years total, loan balance, $16,789. But Jessica has been investing $682 per month for 7 years now. Total invested, $57,288 at 10% return. Investment account, $75,400. Current net worth, $58,611. $75,400 minus $16,789 debt. Jessica is ahead by $1,811. Not a huge difference yet, but Jessica is winning despite still having debt. Marcus is starting to wonder if he made the right choice. Year 10, the debt is gone. Marcus, age 35. Marcus has been investing $1,000 per month for 7 years since becoming debt-free. Total invested, $84,000 at 10% return. Investment account, $110,000. Marcus is feeling good. He's on track to be a millionaire by retirement. Current net worth, $110,000. Jessica, age 35. Jessica finally pays off her student loan in year 10. Total paid over 10 years, $38,160 minus $30,000. Principal minus $8,160 interest. Jessica paid $2,160 more in interest than Marcus by dragging out the payments. Dave Ramsey fans are screaming, "See, she wasted $2,160. But wait, let's look at her investments. Invested $682 per month for 10 years, $81,840 total at 10% return. Investment account, $139,000. She just paid off her debt, so now she can invest the full $1,000 per month going forward. Current net worth, $139,000. Jessica is ahead by $29,000. And remember, Jessica paid $2,160 more in interest, but she made $31,160 more by investing instead of paying off debt early. The math is clear. Investing while in debt was the better financial choice, but it gets even better. Let's keep going. Year 15, the compound effect. Marcus, age 40. Marcus has been debt-free for 12 years and investing $1,000 per month the entire time. Total invested, $144,000 at 10% return. Investment account, $254,000. Marcus is crushing it. $250,000 invested. Current net worth, $254,000. Jessica, age 40. Jessica has been debt-free for 5 years. During those 5 years, she invested $1,000 per month. Total invested over 15 years. Years 1 to 10, $81,840 while paying minimum on debt. Years 11 to 15, $60,000 after becoming debt-free. Total $141,840. She invested less total than Marcus, $141,840 versus $144,000. But here's the magic of starting earlier. Investment account, $297,000. Current net worth, $297,000. Jessica's ahead by $43,000. Wait, how is Jessica ahead when she invested less money total? Because she started investing 7 years earlier than Marcus. Those 7 years of compound interest made all the difference. This is the power of time in the market. Year 20, the gap widens. Marcus, age 45, still investing $1,000 per month like clockwork. Total invested $204,000 at 10% return. Investment account, $504,000. Marcus is halfway to $1 million. He's excited about his progress. Current net worth, $504,000. Jessica, age 45, still investing $1,000 per month. Total invested $201,840 at 10% return. Investment account, $621,000. Current net worth, $621,000. Jessica is ahead by $117,000. The gap keeps growing, even though they're both investing the same amount now. Why? Because Jessica's money has been in the market longer. Time in the market beats paying off low-interest debt. Year 25, retirement. Marcus, age 50, been investing for 22 years since becoming debt-free. Total invested, $264,000 at 10% return. Investment account, $913,000. Marcus is about to cross the millionaire mark. He's proud of his journey. Current net worth, $913,000. Jessica, age 50, been investing for 25 years, including the years while in debt. Total invested, $261,840 at 10% return. Investment account, $1,180,000. Current net worth, $1,180,000. Jessica is ahead by $267,000. Let me repeat that. The person who stayed in debt and invested has $267,000 more than the person who paid off debt aggressively. Jessica paid $2,160 more in interest over the life of the loan, but she made $269,160 more by investing instead of paying off debt early. That's a 124 times return on the cost of staying in debt longer. Why Jessica won the math. Let me break down exactly why investing while in debt beat paying off debt first. Reason 1, the interest rate arbitrage student loan interest. 5% stock market average return, 10%. The spread, 5%. By investing instead of paying off debt, Jessica was earning an extra 5% per year on that money. Over 25 years, that 5% spread compounded into $267,000. Reason 2, time in the market. Marcus didn't start investing until year 4. Jessica started investing from day 1. Those extra 3 years in the market were worth over $100,000 by retirement. Time beats timing, every time. Reason 3, compound interest on compound interest. Jessica's early investments had 25 years to compound. Marcus's early investments only had 22 years to compound. Those 3 extra years of compounding made a massive difference. $682 per month invested for 3 years at 10% equals $27,500. That $27,500 growing for another 22 years at 10% equals $228,000. That first 3 years of investing was worth $228,000 by retirement. Reason 4, the psychological benefit of building wealth. Marcus felt broke for 3 years while aggressively paying off debt. Jessica felt wealthy from day one because she was watching her investment account grow. This psychological benefit kept Jessica motivated to keep investing. Marcus had to rebuild his investing habit after 3 years of putting everything toward debt. The Dave Ramsey response. Now I know what you're thinking, but Dave Ramsey says you can't build wealth while you're in debt. Let me address the Dave Ramsey arguments. Argument 1. Debt is an emergency. Dave Ramsey treats all debt like it's a crisis that must be eliminated immediately. But mathematically, 5% student loan debt is not an emergency. Credit card debt at 22%? Yes, that's an emergency. Pay that off now. But low-interest student loan debt, that's actually a tool you can use to build wealth faster. Argument 2, you need the psychological win of being debt-free. Dave Ramsey says personal finance is 80% behavior and 20% math. For people with no self-control who will blow their money on stupid stuff, he's right. For those people, paying off debt removes temptation and forces discipline. But for financially disciplined people, this advice costs them hundreds of thousands of dollars. Argument 3, what if the market crashes? Dave Ramsey will say, what if you invest and the market crashes? Then you have debt and no investments. True, but 1, the market always recovers. Over 25 years, crashes are just blips. 2, when the market crashes, you're buying stocks on sale with your monthly investments. 3, student loan debt doesn't go away in a market crash. Your payment is the same. The market crash argument is emotional fear-mongering, not math. Argument 4, you'll just waste the money instead of investing it. This is Dave Ramsey's real argument, and it's the only one that holds water. If you're the type of person who says, I'll invest the difference but actually spends it on Amazon and DoorDash, then yes, pay off the debt. But if you're disciplined enough to actually invest, the math clearly shows you should invest while in debt. When you should pay off debt first. Okay, I need to be fair. There are situations where you should pay off debt aggressively. Pay off debt first if 1, the interest rate is high, 7% plus. If your debt is above 7% interest, the math starts favoring debt payoff over investing. Credit cards at 22%? Pay those off immediately. Private student loans at 9%? Probably pay those off. Federal student loans at 4%? Keep those and invest. 2, you have no financial discipline. If you can't be trusted to actually invest the money, pay off debt. The invest the difference strategy only works if you actually invest the difference. 3, the psychological stress is destroying you. If having debt keeps you up at night and ruins your mental health, pay it off. Your mental health is worth more than $267,000. But be honest with yourself. Is the debt actually stressing you out, or have you just been told it should stress you out? 4, the debt is variable rate. If your interest rate could spike to 10 to 15%, pay it off for safety. Fixed rate at 5%, keep it and invest. 5, you're planning to buy a house soon. Lenders care about debt-to-income ratio. If you need to qualify for a mortgage, paying off debt might make sense. But don't buy a house just to buy a house. That's a whole different mistake. The hybrid strategy. Here's what I actually recommend for most people. The smart debt strategy. Step 1, build a $1,000 emergency fund. You need a small cushion for emergencies. Do this first. Step 2, avalanche high-interest debt. Pay off anything above 7% interest as fast as possible. Credit cards, personal loans, high-interest private student loans. Step 3, invest while paying minimums on low-interest debt. Once high-interest debt is gone, start investing while making minimum payments on anything below 5% interest. Step 4, as income grows, do both. Once you're making good money, pay extra on debt and invest. You don't have to choose one or the other. If you have an extra $1,000 per month, $300 to debt, $700 to investing, or $500 to debt, $500 to investing. The key is, don't wait to start investing until all debt is gone. The types of debt. Not all debt is created equal. Let me categorize. Good debt, keep and invest. Federal student loans at 4 to 5%, mortgage at 3 to 4%, business loans at 5 to 6% if the business is profitable. These interest rates are so low that investing will beat them over time. Bad debt, pay off immediately. Credit card debt at 18 to 25%, personal loans at 10 to 15%, payday loans at 400% plus, never take these. Car loans at 8% plus. These interest rates are so high that you can't beat them by investing. Gray area debt, depends on your situation. Private student loans at 6 to 7%, car loans at 5 to 6%, home equity loans at 6 to 7%. For these, it depends on your risk tolerance, your financial discipline, market conditions, your overall financial picture. The real numbers. Let me show you the math with different interest rates. Scenario 1. 3% debt paying off early versus investing. Invest $500,000 at retirement. Pay off first. $380,000 at retirement. Difference, $120,000. Winner, investing while in debt. Scenario 2. 5% debt, our example. Paying off early versus investing. Invest $1,180,000 at retirement. Pay off first, $913,000 at retirement. Difference, $267,000. Winner, investing while in debt. Scenario 3. 7% debt. Paying off early versus investing. Invest $680,000 at retirement. Pay off first, $720,000 at retirement. Difference, $40,000. Winner, paying off debt first, barely. Scenario 4. 10% debt paying off early versus investing. Invest $520,000 at retirement. Pay off first $890,000 at retirement. Difference $370,000. Winner paying off debt first by a lot. The cutoff point is around 6 to 7% interest. Below that, invest. Above that, pay off debt. The opportunity cost nobody talks about. Here's what Dave Ramsey never mentions. When you aggressively pay off debt, you're choosing to 1. Give up years of compound interest growth. 2. Miss out on market gains during your highest earning years. 3. Delay building liquid wealth. 4. Reduce your financial flexibility. Marcus's opportunity cost. By waiting 3 years to start investing, Marcus gave up $228,000 in compound growth. Financial flexibility during those years. The psychological benefit of growing wealth was being debt-free 7 years earlier, worth $228,000. For some people, yes. For mathematically minded people, absolutely not. The behavioral aspect. Let me be real with you. The math says invest, but investing while in debt requires discipline. You have to actually invest the money, not spend it, not panic sell during market crashes. Ignore people who say you're irresponsible for having debt. Trust the math over your emotions. If you can do these things, you'll end up hundreds of thousands richer. If you can't, you'll end up broke with student loan debt. Dave Ramsey's advice is designed for people who can't control themselves. If you can control yourself, the math is clear. Invest while in debt. What to do today? Here's your action plan based on your situation. If you have high interest debt, 7% plus, pay it off as fast as possible. This is an emergency. Stop investing until credit cards and high interest loans are gone. If you have low interest debt, 5% or less, make minimum payments and invest the rest. Set up automatic investments so you don't accidentally spend the money. If you have medium interest debt, 5 to 7%, split the difference, pay extra on debt. Also invest, do both. You don't have to choose. If you have no discipline, follow Dave Ramsey's advice. Pay off all debt first. It's not mathematically optimal, but it's better than spending the money on junk. Closing. So what if you paid off debt aggressively versus invested while in debt? The math is crystal clear. If your debt is below 6% interest, investing wins by a lot. Jessica ended up $267,000 richer than Marcus by staying in debt and investing. She paid $2,160 more in interest, but made $269,160 more in investment returns. That's a 124 times return on the cost of staying in debt. I'm not saying debt is good. I'm saying low interest debt is a tool. Used correctly, it can help you build wealth faster. Used incorrectly, it can destroy you. The choice is yours. But don't let Dave Ramsey's one-size-fits-all advice cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. The math doesn't lie. Call to action. If this video blew your mind and challenged everything you thought about debt, smash that like button. Subscribe for more math-based financial truth. Drop a comment. Are you team pay off debt first or team invest while in debt? I know the Dave Ramsey fans are going to rage in the comments. Bring it on. Let's debate this with math, not emotions. Share this with someone who's aggressively paying off low-interest debt instead of investing. They need to see this. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay smart with your money.